Question for you, Josh. You were with the team in 2021, surrounding by leaders like Perry, Price, and Weber. I'm just curious if you now in 2026 see yourself in a bit of leadership role for a very important game like tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Learned a lot from those individual guys over the years. Especially like situations like we're in right now. But I think we all know the position that we're in, and it's one game at a time, one shift at a time. Each individual has a job to do and to give their best effort, and just go out there and win as many battles as you can, and focus on each and every shift.
Mike, pour toi, exprimer du leadership dans un match très important comme ça passe par quoi pour toi?
Je pense que c'est sûr de montrer l'énergie qu'on va avoir besoin, mais aussi le fait que le plus grand que tu fais, que tes pensées sont dans cette situation, ça peut être un peu plus difficile. Je pense que c'est important de garder tes pensées petites, puis ton focus petit dans le sens de, est-ce que je sais si on peut gagner 3 matchs de suite? Je ne suis pas sûr, mais je pense que est-ce qu'on peut gagner un match ce soir? Oui, je pense que oui.
Good morning, guys. Question pour Mike. Quels sont, en regard à ce que tu as pu voir au cours des 3 derniers matchs, les éléments qui pourraient vous permettre d'avoir plus de lancers au but? Puis, est-ce que c'est une mentalité pour vous qui est importante de juste envoyer le plus grand nombre de lancers possible vers le filet d'Anderson?
Je pense que ça commence avec nos sorties de notre zone. Je pense qu'on est dans notre zone pour trop de temps. Donc, quand on sort, on est quand même fatigué, on doit changer, puis presque avoir un reset, puis on donne la rondelle à l'autre équipe, puis ils reviennent. Donc, ça commence là pour être sûr qu'on sort plus vite, pour qu'on ait de l'énergie dans notre chiffre pour aller attaquer, puis vraiment avoir plus de zone time dans leur zone.
A question for Josh. Martin was talking about 2021. I'm curious, we all know the story about veterans stepping up and reminding everybody you don't know how many chances you get at this. Just, do you feel, this is a young core and they probably feel like they have many years ahead of themselves with this core and, progressing. But do they need to be reminded that you don't know how many chances you get and, have that same urgency?
I think it's been talked about, enough, and we got a lot of guys that have been around for a couple years now and realize how hard it is to win in this league, and it does get harder each and every year, and that's been talked about numerous times this year. So I think everyone realizes the situation we're in, and what's next, and like I said before, it's about each individual, just putting in the best effort and having their best game tonight.
Yeah, Mike, just listening to what you said in French about exiting the zone, if you're able to do it to the effect that you did in Game 1 and even part of Game 2, how can you guys become the aggressors? And how important is it to become the aggressors if you're going to win this game?
Yeah, 100%. I think that is the way you do it. You're cleaner, you're closer together, you support each other, and just flat out execute. And when we're doing that, we're using our speed, and we're much more difficult to play against. And since Game 1, I feel like we haven't been able to put them on their heels nearly enough. And so if we want to make things happen tonight, we need to do that.
Hi guys, a question for Josh. When it comes to now that you felt that kind of pressure when it comes to creating in the O-zone, how good do you feel mentally that you're able to crack it in a certain way? And is it about, it's not only, sharing the game plan, but how much that helps, to have some clarity in all this tight space?
Yeah, when you play a team numerous times, 4 times now, you do a lot of video, and it's something that we've been discussing after each game of what the game plan is, and obviously we've looked at a lot of things from the last previous games that we're going to stick to our game plan and come out, and I think it's about execution and support, and obviously pace too. So we know what we have to do tonight to be successful, and just follow the game plan.
Yeah, Josh, to go a little deeper on that, in your eyes, what is the balance tonight for making adjustments versus just better execution?
Yeah, I think just being on the same page, and I talked about it before, just winning your one-on-one battles. I think they're a team that competes, they work hard. I think if each individual just takes care of their own battle and supports each other, I think we're going to have success in that way.
For either of you, just the way the games have gone with them having the lead basically the whole last 3 games, is it harder playing against them, chasing the games against the way they play? And how much would having a lead just or starting out with a lead help in one of these games?
Well, I think that goes for any team. If you're starting off down a goal or two, it's going to be hard no matter what. Definitely the pressure they bring makes that more difficult. But I think from our standpoint going into tonight, it's about our compete level and how committed we are to doing the right things that make us successful, and part of that is definitely having a good start and putting them on their heels. Thanks.
Captain Nick Suzuki or Juraj Slakovsky, please raise your hand when you're like to get a question. Right side, second row, Kenzie.
Hi, Nick. I'll start with you. When you think of your year overall this season in these do-or-die games, I go back to the Olympics, the quarterfinal game against Czechia. You found a way with Team Canada to tie that game. What did you learn about yourself in those moments of when it's all on the line and how to step up?
I obviously learned a lot through experience, and going over to that environment in the Olympics. I think it either brings out the best in you, or you kind of see where you stand in those high pressure situations. And I've always wanted to be a player that can step up, and I think we got a lot of guys that are built like that. So. Looking forward to tonight, and knowing that our backs are against the wall and we got to really raise our game.
It's for either of you, I guess, because I think you both kind of feel this way, but you guys seem to, whenever people doubt you, just want to prove them wrong. That's been sort of one of the themes of last season, this season, just prove that you're better than people think you are. To what part is that accurate? Is that a part, like a character trait of this team? And how can you dig in on that tonight to kind of show the real version of your team, and maybe not the version that we've seen the last 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, we love to prove people wrong, and that's the mindset. We haven't played the way we wanted the past 3 games, and I feel like today it's a good time to bring our game back and play the right way and win the game.
Nick, you're obviously part of the 2021 team that came back from 3-1. A lot of us covered that team. The team was thought to be left for dead at the time. What was it like just getting that one win and feeling that momentum change? And what can you learn? What can you take from that and share with that from the group?
Yeah, I think Laner was asking me about that series a couple days ago, and it wasn't one thing that just flipped that game 5, and there's just little plays here and there. You go get into overtime, get a big OT winner, and your confidence, your belief that things are turning around goes way higher, and you put a little more doubt in the other team, and that's been the only focus since we lost game 4 is all we have to do is go into Carolina and win one game, and focus on that part. So, it's nice to have that experience, and a lot of us who are part of that team that are still on this team right now, and I think we've relayed that message to the group.
Was just listening to what Josh said about each individual having to win their one-on-one battles. We've seen you this year, whether it was with this team or at the Olympics, take over games and have a mentality of wanting the puck and wanting to be the guy. How close do you think you've been to that version of yourself through this series? And if it's not as close as you want, how do you get to that guy tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the first game was pretty good. I feel like it was there, and then it kind of slipped. And obviously, I want to be that guy that when does something out there. So, yeah, I think today I just got to move my feet, and use my size, and then just win my battles. It's not really deep. Like, it's easy to say, but now it's up to me if I can go out there and do it.
Hi guys, when it comes to trying to create and it becomes frustrating at a certain point, how do you stay even keel in these moments, and maybe how much Marty helped you guys to have some clarity and maybe do video and make sure you see things clearly?
Yeah, I mean, we've been a team that has created a lot of offense all year, and obviously Carolina is one of the top defending teams, and their D got really good sticks. They block a lot of shots. They're break up plays. I think mentally that can be draining on you, and you got to just continue to try to read the play properly. And there's still room out there. They play similar defensive zone to us, and we kind of know what it's tough to play against. And I think if we can bring that to them, I think we'd get some more success, and obviously try to shoot the puck on net a little bit more.
Yeah, a question for you, Nick, in the back. I think the last 3 games went according to the Hurricanes' style of play. They seem to dictate how the games are going to be played. If you guys want to continue, to which extent do you think that the game needs to be played under your terms? And how do you go about that? What's the starting point for the game to be played under the Montreal Canadiens' terms?
Yeah, I think obviously we've been playing from behind, and when you're playing from behind, you might take a little bit more risk, and when you take a little risk, they turn the puck over and go the other way, and hopefully we can have a good start, try to get out to a lead, and control the play and possess the puck. It's kind of been a staple for us for a long time now. So we know we talked about a lot of things this morning, and we're just going to try to go out and do that and give ourselves the best chance to win tonight.